first one is that we need to know how to talk to them. So you might understand that there is an AI tool that does something for you, but if you don't know how to talk and you don't know how to explain in a way that the AI tool will understand, you'll end up with a garbage video. And so what we're going to talk about is the language a lot of times that we're going to use to get the AI to do exactly what it is we want. And the second thing is we are going to be using ChatGPT, and we're also going to be using a tool called vidIQ. Now, vidIQ is actually just ChatGPT packaged up a little differently. Now, what they've done is they've taken ChatGPT and they've actually built an integration into their own website, and then they've trained it a little bit more specifically for YouTube. So first, we are going to start in vidIQ, and that's going to be for ideation. Okay, we need to come up with a good video idea, something that's really going to knock people's socks off and get a bunch of views. Now, vidIQ makes this really easy, and all you've got to do is go to vidIQ and sign up, and you'll go to AI Coach right here, and then it's going to have some prompts. We're going to go to give me 5 video ideas about, and we're just going to click that right here. And again, this is going to ask ChatGPT this question, but with a little more data. Now, my channel is all about job hacks, things like that, and so getting a job might be a good one that we'll type in right here, and it's going to spit out 5 different cool video ideas for us to run with. Now you can see right here, it's given us 5 ranging from resumes to interviewing to networking. Now, if you don't like it, you can always say, give me 5 more, and it will give you 5 more. I think we're gonna run with something resume related because that's something that did really well on the channel before. So we're going to run with how to create a resume to stand out from the crowd. Next, we need to come up with the title, and that's pretty easy. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click refresh, and we're going to say fix this title, and I'm gonna type in something like how to create the perfect resume, right? Now it's going to fix this title or give me a bunch of title ideas for this. So it says, step-by-step guide to crafting the perfect resume. I'm actually okay with that. If I wasn't okay with that, I would say try again, and it would try again, and I could say try again as many times as I needed to till I got a title that I felt like had a good potential for a lot of clicks. For example, the ultimate guide to writing a standout resume. Also a great title. I might run it that one instead. Anyway, once you select your title, you now have a video idea, you've got a title, and it's time for you to start scripting. So for step 3, we actually are going to use ChatGPT to make our script. And the reason that we want to do that is ChatGPT tends to give you longer and more filled out scripts. So if you try to use vidIQ, you'll find that it's only 200 or 300 words, the script it spits out, and ChatGPT, you can talk to it enough and get it to give you a long script. And I'll show you what I mean. So when I say write a 1,000-word script for a YouTube video, let's say I have 12 techniques for crafting the perfect resume. Now I'll tell it to write 5 sentences about each technique, and I'll be witty. And guess what? Sometimes it'll listen and sometimes it won't. And in this case, it didn't listen, okay? So it started to write a pretty good resume right here. You can see all I did was tell it to write, and I told it to be witty. I always tell it to be witty. Hey there, job seekers, and it gives me a nice little intro, and then it starts to dive into the points. Now, this isn't going to be long enough. I can already tell that it's not going to be long enough. So you'll see that I respond down here, and I say, write it again, but I want you to go into more detail about each of the 12 techniques. And ChatGPT will dive in and do that. So you can see right here, it's going to start right on the techniques again, and this time we're getting a little more. We're getting 5, 6, 7 sentences for each one, which is much more in line with the length that we want. And we could tell it as many times as we want to go into more detail. We could tell it to go into more detail about point 2. All you've got to do is respond back and forth until you have what you feel good about. You're also going to find that as it's going, it sometimes stops going. And you can see right here, have someone else review it. This, and then it stops. All you've got to do is tell ChatGPT to keep going. It's almost like it has a brain freeze. So you'll tell it to keep going, and it will finish up this article or finish up this YouTube script, and then it will finish up with a good closing statement right there as well. Now at this point, you're just a few minutes in. All you've done is get an idea, you've got a title, and you've got a script, and each of these, unless you battle back and forth with the AI, should take you about 30 seconds. Now it comes time to actually make the video. This is where I was blowing a lot of money before. The video editing and the video voiceover and all that, that was costing me a lot of money on my previous channel, but it doesn't anymore. So what we're gonna use is we're going to use a tool called invideo.io, and we'll leave a link down below to that as well. Again, they have a free plan. Everything I'm talking about can be done on the free plan. If you want to improve the quality of your video in a lot of different ways, obviously there are different paid plans that will dramatically make your video better. You'll get access to better footage, access to better music, you'll get better transitions and stuff. You'll just be able to make a better video, but that's up to you. Now, as we dive in here, all you're gonna do is you're gonna go to create new, and you're gonna go to editor right here, okay? Now we're gonna choose landscape because that's the dimensions of a YouTube video, and it's gonna pull up this awesome online editor right here. Now, once you've opened up this editor, we're gonna need to add just a placeholder, essentially something that's gonna sit there to tell it how long the video needs to be while we build everything around it. Just go to images right here and click on any image, and it'll add the image. We're gonna shrink down the view here, and we're gonna extend the image to as long as you think your video is gonna be. I think we're probably gonna shoot for 6 to 8 minutes, so I'm gonna go about 7 minutes right here. Again, this is just a placeholder. Now we can add our voiceover. Now this used to be hard. All I'm gonna do is record it directly in here. You can use an external mic, or you can use your own mic, or you can actually have it do the voiceover for you if you'd like. But I personally prefer to record my own voiceovers because it only takes me 5 minutes and I can use my own voice inflections and things like that. So you'll click voiceover and you'll have 4 different options. You can choose automated text to speech. For that option, all you're gonna have to do is copy this whole script and you're gonna copy it directly into this section right here. And then you select a voice and it will generate an entire voiceover for you and spit it out on a timeline right here. Like I said, it still sounds a little bit robotic. So instead, I'm gonna go to voiceover and I'm gonna select that I want to record my voiceover. And then all I do is directly record my voiceover directly into InVideo. So I'm gonna click record and I'll record it real quick.
Hey there, job seekers. Are you tired of submitting resumes?
All right, so once we've got our voiceover in there, we're gonna have 2 different clips on 2 different lines right here. Now we're gonna need to start adding the actual media, the actual video, and this is really easy to do. You can see right here on the left, you click video, and it's gonna pull up just tons of stock video, and all you've gotta do is search the stock video. Now, again, if you're on a paid plan, you're gonna find that you get a lot more access to a lot better video, but there's plenty of video even if you're not on that paid plan. So we're gonna click right here, and I'm just gonna listen to the first minute. Okay, in the first little bit, I talk about resume, so I'm gonna type in something like resume right here, and you're gonna see I'm gonna get a bunch of different video options that I can add that are resumes. You can see this is one right here. I can click on them to preview them if I want, or I can just say, yeah, that looks good, and I'll click plus. And then I can either select the entire clip and add it, or I can select a piece of the clip and say, I just want that clip right here. Now I'm talking about job seekers, so a job application is perfect. I'll click add, and it's gonna start another timeline right here. Okay, now depending on the size of that stock footage, you might need to drag it to make it big enough, and we will do that on this one. You can see we'll drag it to fill up the screen, so it does fill up the screen. Now we're probably gonna wanna change our view back to something a little more detailed. So you can see right there, I'm gonna drag that a little bit, and we're gonna dive in here now, and we're gonna start making edits. All we're doing is adding footage as we go. So I'm gonna listen to another section of 5 to 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna add more footage over and over and over again. Now, one thing you'll notice that as you're adding footage, it's actually going to create new timelines each time. You can see these 4 timelines right here. I just added this and I added it on another timeline. So all you're gonna do is just continually drag it to the end right there. So I'll continue to add videos, and each new video will be added to its own timeline. No worries, I'll just click it and drag it into this video timeline right here. All right, so you can see right here, I've got a bunch of videos in there. I've got my voiceover going, and you could technically be done with it right here. We'll click play.
Hey there, job seekers. Are you tired of
Okay, you can see we've got this video, but we're gonna wanna add a little bit more detail, make it a little more exciting, because obviously we wanna get a lot of views on this, right? So next, we're going to add some kind of text. Now, all you gotta do to add text, you're gonna go over here, and you can see there's a text option right there, and there's templates that you can easily add over different points of the video. So if you've got a video with a list of 12, that's a good spot to start adding your text, where each time we bring up another item in our list, like this video, I'll add a bit of text. All right, so my first point is customizing your resume to fit the job. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose a category. For me, I love minimalist here. I'm gonna click minimalist, and it's gonna give me all these cool options. I think I'm gonna go with something like this one right here. So I'm gonna click on it, and I'm just gonna drag it, and it's going to add it to the timeline above right there. You can see it's now got a 4th timeline. This is the timeline for our text, where we're gonna add all of our text. Now I can easily click in there and I can edit the text just by going right here and editing the text. I can also do a lot of different things with fonts. If I really want to get creative and go crazy, I can do that. We're trying to spit out videos quick here for a faceless channel, so I'm just gonna be okay with this, and I'm gonna say, step number 1, fit the job. Okay? Step number 1, and I'm actually gonna put an enter right there because I want it to be on a second line. Step number 1, fit the job. I'm pretty good with that. Again, you can animate it and do all kinds of fun things if you want. I can click here and just kind of have it come in, come out, kind of slowly show up on the screen, all that fun stuff, but that's kind of up to you and your creative abilities. So I'll go through here and I'm gonna add text to each of the different spots where it makes sense for me to throw some text over the screen as well. Now to do this, it's actually a lot easier than having to do all those steps we just did again. All I'm gonna do is I'm copying and pasting it. So I'm gonna click onto that current step we made. I'm gonna paste it, and then I'm just gonna drag it down to where the next spot is. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Paste it, and I'm gonna drag it to where the next spot is. And then all I've gotta do is I really only had to edit it once, right? Now I can click into this next one. I can go to edit up here, and I can change the text. It'll keep all the animations I added, all the styles, all that stuff, so that I can maintain a style throughout the entire video. Last thing is we wanna add music, and once again, this is really, really easy to do. We're gonna go again on this left where everything's happening. We're gonna click on music, and you can see right here, it's gonna pull up tons of different genres of music. I don't know any YouTube videos that want angry music. Typically you want something more inspiring. So you'll click into there and you can listen to the music and then click plus to add it when you find something you want. Now, I'm pretty happy with this first one, honestly. I find the ones at the top seem to be better than the ones as you get closer to the bottom. But I'm gonna click plus right here, and it's going to start a new music timeline right down here. I'm gonna click, and I'm gonna drag it to the beginning, and then you're gonna wanna click on it, and you're gonna want to make it a little quieter, because typically it's going to be full volume when it goes in there. So we'll click on volume right there, we'll click here, and we'll drop the volume down to maybe 35% of what it typically is. All right, so here's where we're at right now.
Hey there, job seekers. Are you tired of submitting resumes that never seem to get a response?
Okay, that's a pretty good intro, and I think I'm okay with that music running throughout the entire length of the video. Now you can go in and you can add transitions and you can add overlays and all kinds of elements and whatever it is that you want, if that's the route that you want to take. Again, you don't need to be doing that for a lot of these YouTube videos, but you can get as creative as you want. And once you're done, you're gonna end up with something that looks similar to this.
Hey there, job seekers. Are you tired of submitting resumes that never seem to get a response? Don't worry, we've got your back. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 12 techniques for creating the perfect resume that will get you noticed by recruiters and hiring managers. Let's get started.
So that's a pretty good video. I think the voiceover's fun. I think the script is great. The on-screen, everything is good. I'm pretty happy with this video. And honestly, this is as good as what I was getting at a Fiverr, spending anywhere from $50 to $100 per video. So all we have left is two parts. We need a thumbnail and we need a description. Once again, we're gonna use vidIQ or ChatGPT. We're gonna use a tool called Midjourney to make our thumbnail. Now, what Midjourney is it's an AI image creator, and it can be incredible and powerful, or it can be terrible and it can come out with garbage. Again, it depends on how you talk to it and how you tell it what you want. So I'm gonna paste in exactly the prompt that we're gonna use for this, and then I'll explain why we're doing different things. So I'll leave a link down to Midjourney down below. You're gonna need to download something called Discord, and it's gonna come up with a section that looks just like this once you're in Discord. Now, once you're in, it is kind of crazy because you get to see everyone's pictures, which is kind of fun. But anyway, you're gonna scroll all the way down here to newbies, and you're gonna click into any of these newbie rooms. I'm gonna click newbies 66. You're gonna see all these different paintings and things that people are getting done by Midjourney. Then you're gonna type in backslash and you're gonna type in the word imagine, okay? And then it's gonna ask for a prompt. So after you type in imagine, then you get to tell it what you want. And this is what I'm going to do for this one. I'm gonna say I wanna picture a person handing a resume to a smiling man in a suit. So again, we need to be specific, but we can do this over and over again if it doesn't work out. Now I'm gonna give it some really specific instructions. I want it to be colorful and bright. It might do something dark, and I tend to find that YouTube videos that are, or thumbnails that are colorful and bright do better. I'm also gonna tell it to be realistic. I want it to look like an actual person, right? I typically see people's faces do better on YouTube, so I'm gonna go for that, realistic. Then I'm gonna type in 8K, and all that tells it is I want something with good resolution. And then last, this is really important, you're gonna type in --AR space 16:9, and that just tells it that we want different dimensions. We don't want it to be a square because this is a YouTube thumb, so we're gonna go for 16:9. Once I type all of that in, I'm gonna click enter, and we're gonna wait about 30 to 40 seconds, and it's going to actually give me 4 different pictures that I can choose from. So I'm kind of looking, and I don't love that it's adding a picture right here. I kind of like this bottom left one, and I kind of like this top right one. I think I'm kind of leaning towards this top right one. You can tell he's handing the resume, he's got that smile. Now again, I can go in there and I can do it again, over and over again. If I feel like it's not giving me what exactly that I'm looking for, I can say, I can remove colorful, I can remove realistic, I can say, make it bright instead of colorful, all kinds of different things we can say till we feel good. I feel pretty good about this yellow one right here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna figure out, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, the pictures, and I'm gonna say U2. All that means is I want you to blow up and just give me a full-size version of that second picture, and it's going to spit that out for me. Now, while it's doing that, I'm gonna head back over to vidIQ real quick. We're gonna go into that AI coach, and we're gonna say, write a description for a video about the perfect resume, okay? And you're going to get your description all ready to go. It'll take this about 10 seconds, which is about the same amount of time it's going to take Midjourney. Now you're all good to go. You've got your video, you've got your description, you've got your title, you've got your thumbnail. All you've got to do is click upload and watch those views come in. Now you can start a faceless channel and scale and grow that faceless channel at no cost while putting out literally dozens of videos every single day. 2023 is going to be a crazy year for YouTube.